Today's collectible spot, we are having a look at the Star Ace Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, the 1/6 scale figure of Harry Potter. Spot's been looking at a lot of the Harry Potter figures from the folks over at Star Ace, been big fans of their releases. And the whole time, really, I've been thinking to myself, I really wish, and I've actually mentioned this a couple of times as well, I love the smaller, younger versions of the characters, but I've been really getting excited for when Star Ace was going to approach adult or the older versions of the characters. And Harry Potter, kind of from the Goblet of Fire, he's not quite fully grown yet, but we are starting to see him as he gets older and more experienced with his magic. The figure itself, before we have a look at the figure, let's have a look at the box. And even really, like, the box itself is a change from what we've been seeing from previous released Star Ace figures. I think they're really up in their game, and like this, even like the box itself is a good reflection of that. We have an older Harry Potter, and the box itself kind of has a faux leather look to it. It's still a cardboard box, but it's got that faux kind of leather grain to it. It's a really nice touch, and having Harry Potter over top of that, again, it really shows well. And I think I really dig these boxes a little bit more than the previous released boxes that we've seen before. Spin around the side of the box. We've got Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, my favorite movie series, Harry Potter Triwizard version. This is SA0008. The back of the box. Once again, we have my favorite movie series, 1/6 scale collectible action figure. We have the cast and crew responsible for making this. And what else we have here? www.harrypotter.com if you want to check out more from Harry Potter. This is an adult figure. It's not a toy. It's recommended for ages 17 and up. And then finally, the box itself, what we want to do is we can slide this up just like so. There we go. And inside we've got Harry Potter, complete with his broom. And we've got his wand. We've got a couple of different accessories. Certainly can't wait to get this guy opened up. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened. And when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, the Harry Potter 1/6 scale figure. There's more anyway, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. With Harry Potter, the first thing we'll have a look at is the clear display stand that comes with the figure. And a slight departure from some of the previous released Star Ace Harry Potter figures, because this particular display stand actually features Harry Potter across the top. Normally it's always just been clear display stand, so it's a nice touch that they would have included that. You'll notice there's 3 peg holes on the top. The same setup still happens with these display stands. Star Ace gives you 3 different rods, and those rods can fit in any one of these 3 slots, as you can see right here, but you get ones of various lengths. And just peg these all in so you guys can see what I'm talking about. You get ones of various lengths. Depending on how you want to have Harry Potter displayed, he also comes with a waist clip that can open and close. It's a little tight. I'm going to have to just loosen the screw there. And also you get a secondary clip that can hold his broom. And then any one of those pieces can connect to the tops of the rods. And this one actually slides down. So depending on how you want to have Harry Potter displayed, you can display him just standing as is. You can display him also with the broom that we're going to be having a look at as well. And each one of these are also adjustable. So you have tons of different options and different ways that you can have Harry displayed, and all of which I'll show you guys in a second. So really cool. I love that they continue to include these with all their 6 scale releases. As for Harry here, well, he certainly has grown up a bit from the first outing that we saw from Star Ace. The Goblet of Fire is the 4th novel in the series, and also had Harry, now in his 4th year at Hogwarts, competing in a Triwizard tournament. So you'll also see too that Harry Potter's outfit is a little bit different than the one that we had to look at before. The first figure that we had to look at for Star Ace had Harry Potter in his wizard's robe. Now we've got Harry Potter in his Triwizard tournament outfit. On the back we've got Potter, and actually right on the front there's a crest on his robe indicating Potter as well. It's a great looking figure and a nice departure from the previous released Harry Potter that we had a look at. As hopefully we progress down the series, Star Ace will continue to release these, and eventually, I mean, it's a great look for Harry. I always really love him in the robe though, so I'm really excited to see what Star Ace has planned for us in the 6 scale releases of these guys. But it's a nice contrast to have Harry Potter in this outfit versus, you know, the wizard's robe that we so often see him in. For his face, I think they've once again delivered a very strong sculpt of Daniel Radcliffe, or Harry Potter. Right down to the, you guys can hopefully see it, the lightning bolt scar at the top of his forehead. He has glasses, though they are not removable. I wouldn't be attempting to try to take those off. And Harry Potter's hair is much longer as it would appear in the Goblet of Fire. Really like the sculpt on his hair too. It's a very realistic sculpt on this hair. And I also, something I mentioned before with the Star Ace releases, I think they nail flesh color. I think they do a good job of flesh color. Because obviously as a younger kid, Harry Potter's skin is going to look very drastically different than maybe some of the older characters we had to look at. I think they do a pretty good job when it comes to the paint. Now, just a closer look at his actual costume. It's made up of components, so it's made up of sections. I would not actually be trying to take these off, especially the outer robe, because of the way it's been stitched together. I suppose theoretically, there is a little knot underneath that you could untie and take the robe off. But underneath, if I can just move hopefully I can move this out of the way for you. Underneath, he does have like a tunic, which has that same similar stitch up. But if I'm looking at the robe underneath, it looks like, yeah, I would not be trying to take that off. I think it looks really great, but you know what, for the Harrys that we may eventually be getting down the road, guaranteed they will release one with a robe. I'd be inclined just to leave this one as is. Like really solid coloring, especially when you start looking at the striped areas of his sleeves with little stars on there, right down to the closures that they've put on the actual sleeve cuffs, where you can theoretically tighten that if you so wish. Harry Potter's got fingerless gloves, and the sculpt on his fingers and hands still very nicely done. He's got the yellow stripes that continues all the way down his robe. By the way, the material of this almost feels like a nylon. I don't know if the camera is doing it justice, but it does feel like it is a nylon with a very nice stitch in the robe itself. And on the inside, it looks like something that if it was much bigger, of course, this would be something you could really end up wearing. Little air slots there as well. And he's got the yellow stripes down his pants, complete with a zipper closure. The zipper is working, and just lift up the pant leg to Harry's boots underneath. I suppose maybe a small gripe, the boots are very hard plastic. They have a little bit of give, but not much. That you can't really bend the foot all that much to get him to stand. So a lot of the bending relies on the legs as well as the knees to compensate for the fact that you can't move too much Harry Potter's feet. It's a small little nitpick, but I think he still stands well, especially if you incorporate the display stand, but you will have to compensate for pretty solid feet. You'll have to compensate that though with his legs. As for accessories, well, Star Ace does a pretty good job of giving accessories with their 6 scale figures, and Harry Potter here is no exception. For starters, he gets himself a souped up broom with gold struts on the bottoms there for his feet. The scripture there on the handle or stem of the broom is a nice touch. Really like the sculpting of the handle. It's got all these little nicks and little crease lines in there like real wood. And then you've got the base of the broom as well. Very nice indeed. Harry also gets himself a podium that will display not only the golden egg, but also the Triwizard Cup. Unfortunately, it does take batteries. And at the time that Spot is shooting this review, I didn't actually get batteries for it. But what it does, though, is it just projects a very bright white LED light from the center of the podium. or stand. From there as well, that little stand platform also serves to light up the very cool Triwizard Cup. Just put the stand there for a second. On the side, I'm not sure if you can make it out, but on this shaded glass, or in this case it would be plastic, does say Triwizard. And you've got the dragon. I think that's the dragons. No, it doesn't. They're not actually dragons, but they're arched around the front, or almost more like dog-like, arched around the front, and they are holding the cup in place. I really like the color that they gave this. It's almost like a darker gunmetal. The blue also shines quite nice. It's more of a bluish gray, which also carries over to the stem of the cup also. So theoretically, there's a hole on the underside of the cup. There's a hole right at the top there. Theoretically, you would be able to put the cup on top and it would light all the way through and light up the cup as well, which would be an exceptional touch. Or what you can also do too is, let's reach off camera, he also comes with the golden egg, which is a little on the fragile side, especially when you open it up, because yes, you do have the option of opening this up. But just before we do that, show you the little scripture carvings on the sides of the egg. Love this gold that they gave it too. And underneath there is a little pinhole. It's smaller than the cup itself, but there's a little pinhole where the light would project through. Now to open the egg, if I just flip up the top here, there is this little section here that moves. To lock it, what you want to do is have it offset from the other side. See how there's little leaves here? So leaf, leaf, and leaf. You want to offset them to keep it closed. To open it, you want to turn this until it lines up with the other leaves, so that you only have 3 leaves instead of 6. Once you do that, you can get your finger in there and you can open up the egg. And these work just on hinges at the bottoms there. And it gives a really nice, almost glass-like appearance. Almost has like a crystal ball look to it. It's very nice. But you can also take that. There's no real place where it pegs into place. So the sides of the egg essentially hold the egg in place and prevent it from falling over. Again, if this was lit, the light would project right through and light this up, which would be a fantastic sight. Unfortunately, again, Spot did not get batteries. Whoops, did not get batteries. And batteries weren't included. Spot didn't get batteries for it. So you get the golden egg, and you also get the Triwizard Cup. Finally, if Harry Potter is going to enter a Triwizard tournament, you of course would have to have him include a wizard wand. The wand is very nice. It's almost a burgundy brown in color with a darker wash near the handle end of the wand. He doesn't actually come with any magic constructs. As you've seen in the past when Spot's had to look at the Star Ace figures, they tend to have like a little energy something that you can attach to the end of the wand. I'm pretty sure the end, though, is the same size as all the other wands that we've seen in the past. So theoretically, you could take one of the ones that we've looked at in previous videos, you could attach it to the wand, and you can have them displayed like that. Finally, Harry Potter comes with 3 extra hands. Hands perfect, of course, for holding the wand. And a couple of hands for holding, well, his broomstick. For Harry Potter's posability, he does have a ball joint in the neck. And actually, he does have a ball joint not only at the base of the neck, allowing the neck to tip forward and back, but then he's also got a secondary ball joint that's in the socket area of the head. And you have a lot of movement that way as well. Shoulders hinge out, as well as forward and back, but yeah, you will run some risk. You want to just compensate for the actual coat here when he's moving his arms, just so it doesn't get tight around the shoulder area. There's a swivel point at the bicep area. he does have a double hinged elbow, as well as a rotation and hinge in the hand. It gets a little difficult, well, not difficult. His torso is on a ball joint, no issues there whatsoever. His legs, though, are a little on the clickety, ratcheted joint, which I guess is good because it's going to keep a pose and the legs aren't going to get loose. He has a top cut in the thigh, allowing for a swivel in the top of the leg. He has a double hinged knee. And as we've already had a look at, Harry Potter, because his boots are so high up, unfortunately you can't really pose his feet. You can swivel them, yes, but you can't really hinge them up and down. So a lot of compensation will have to be done with the rest of the legs to get Harry Potter to properly stand. For one final look, Spot's got Harry Potter in flight mode on his broom, and to accomplish that I made use of the 3 posts that we talked about at the beginning of this review. The smaller post, I've got him holding the broom handle. The base of the broom I've got on one of the smaller waist clips, and the larger waist clip I've got Harry basically in a place where he's not going to go anywhere. And all 3 posts together really can give you a successful look for displaying the figure. In fact, it's also the way that I've got the younger Harry displayed that we had a look at in a previous review. For this particular figure, Star Ace continues to impress me with what they're putting out there. The Harry Potter figures, they've been very loyal to. They've been getting us different incarnations of the characters, but that whole time we've still kind of been getting younger looks to the characters. As we now get the Goblet of Fire, we are now starting to see Harry growing up a little bit, and that has me excited for what we're going to be getting with later installments. As a side note too, while I like the Triwizard outfit, it's not my go-to look for Harry. However, because we may potentially begin Harry in wizard robe outfits later on, I think this is a great a departure as something this is going to stand out amongst all the other Harry Potter 6 scale figures that we're going to be getting. Kudos to Star Ace once again for continuing to deliver strong 6 scale figures of Harry Potter and the multiple movies that he was in. Today's collectible Spot was having a look at the Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, the 6 scale figure of Harry Potter. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible Spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.